Hi, I'm back here with another Bible study. Still working on the book of Isaiah. We made it to chapter 8 though. How many? Oh god. It just goes on. This must be the longest book in the Bible. Oh gosh. Okay. It's gonna take me a while to get through this. Isaiah 65. Wow. Okay, I never really looked at how long this was. That's pretty thick for Bible pages there. So I'm on page 840, and this is 924. And in about 45 minutes for 3 or 4 pages, I'm not strong with math. That's 175-ish pages. No, math's not my strong suit. 100, so that'd be 100 minus... This is not a math channel. Anyways, it could take me a long time to get through this. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. This isn't the only Bible study type thing I'm doing. But this is the book that I want to go in depth on. And however long it's going to take me is however long it's going to take me. Because I really want to get in and learn here. But before I do that, as I said, I do other things to inform my faith. Including reading the Bible and other books of the Bible. There's two bookmarks in here. And one of those things is I read a book on the topic of religion each month. And this month I'm reading a book called Unconditional by Brian Zahnd, I want to say. And I just want to share this quote that really kind of speaks to me and of my relationship with Christianity. I've said this many ways, but it says so much more eloquently here, is that one of the ideas he presents is that it's easy to be a Christian, it's not so easy to be Christian. And that's what I want to live in my life. I looked more to Christ as someone to follow, not just for forgiveness of sins and stuff like this, but for the ideas that he presented. Another thing that kind of ties into this too is I've been listening to podcasts, The New Evangelicals, and Tim, the host, was interviewing this Christian politician who says, as Christians, we're not just called to do charity. We are called to dismantle the systems that require charity, that make charity a requirement. And that really speaks to me in how I view the Bible as a whole, especially the book of Isaiah. It's not about charity. It's about dismantling systems that make things horrible for people. It's all about justice and stuff. Anyways, this is the quote I wanted to share as I go on this tangent. I'm convinced that one of the reasons we are so deeply tempted to reduce the salvation found in Jesus Christ to a largely private and primarily post-mortem event is that whereas we believe in Jesus as our personal Savior, we are still not convinced of his ideas. At times we remain as cynical as Pilate. Sure, we believe that Jesus can save us for the next life, but in this life it is not the cross that saves, but the sword. Or so we think. But the sword of vengeance, and that's what we always claim the sword is for, the vengeance of justice, is the perfect symbol of a world stuck in a bitter cycle of revenge. And I just thought I'd share that today. Anywho, let's dive into Isaiah chapter 8. And I know it's summer for a lot of us, so just to mention too, stay hydrated. I have my little water, my big water over here. It's been really hot where I live, so gotta keep hydrated. Let's dive on in. I'm sorry, this is just funny. Because, I know this is, prehistory. Or not prehistory, but, pre-technology. Our idea of technology. Take a large tablet and inscribe these words on it with an ordinary stylus. Just think like a tablet, like a computer tablet. Anywho, I'm very distracted today, if you can't tell. Okay. So, Meher Shalal Has-Baz, apparently it's a name, means quickly the plunder, it hurries the loot. I'm going to look for more clarification on that here. Haste, spoil, speed, booty is what this person's translated it as. Syntactically, the enigmatic legend is capable of more than one construction. Most probably the verbs are participles, and then the nouns may be either spoil hasteth, booty speedeth. Hasting to the spoil, speeding to the... They're using the word booty. Oh, I am not in any good sense to be doing this. Oh my god, this is... Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing so much at this. Spoils. They're just phrasing this really wrong. Really not wrong, but really awkwardly. So it should be plunder quickly, the loot hurries. I'm just gonna... take this, plunder speeds. Where's the other one? Spoil hastens. I'm not seeing anything that tells me what this means here. So, we're just gonna go to handy old Google and look up. Wikipedia. Come in clutch. Okay, so this is supposed to be the name of the second child, traditionally understood as the son of Abi and the bride king of Ahaz, the future king of Hezekiah. Quickly to the plunder. See, I need my little pad. It's right here. Oh, it's AL. Has-Baz. Quickly to the plunder. The second child, son of Abi and Ahaz, future king of Hezekiah. Reference to the impending plunder of Samaria and Damascus by King of Assyria. Oh, cool. Interesting. This is the longest name and word used in the Bible. Cool. But they're saying that it's also Isaiah 9:5. Then I will summon as my reliable witnesses Uriah the priest and Zechariah son of yep, that name. I then approached the prophetess for marital relations. She conceived and gave birth to a son. The Lord told me, name him this one, for before the child knows how to cry out, my father or my mother, the wealth of Damascus and the plunder of Samaria will be carried off by the king of Syria. Okay. Cool. There's a lot of names and stuff going on here. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. I recognize Uriah the priest, but I'm going to look him up further. Uriah. Is that the Hittite? Book Samuel David King. No, I don't know. I'm gonna go back to the commentaries. This is 8:2. Okay, it says we don't really know enough about these people. So. Okay. So now, why is he... We get the young woman, but who is the prophetess? That's the next thing I'm gonna look for. The prophet's wife. Of course. Okay. I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy little thing here. I think I have like see-through notes. If I can get them out. Here somewhere. There we go. It's like there's not enough room on the page to note this here because it's all, I wrote all over here. So we'd add another layer over here to write notes. That's going to be confusing to read. Oh well. Prophetess is... My brain just went blank. Isaiah, the prophet. Wife. Okay. For marital relations, that's okay. And they name their son this. Okay, so that's another prophecy about children. I'm just gonna, that's interesting to note. I've been doing a lot of poetry analysis and reading on the side, so like I feel like that's informing this too, and that I want to like interpret like what does the prophecy of children mean. What do they represent? You know, future hope kind of stuff. Rejected the gently, they have rejected something. The gently flowing waters of Shiloah, and melt in fear over Rezin and the son of Remaliah. Just so intrigued by names. 6. This people. I'm reading Ellicott's commentary on Bible Hub. This is your first video of mine you're seeing. I don't know why you started with Isaiah 8 to Isaiah 1, but I use a website called Bible Hub, which pulls a whole bunch of commentaries together. So this one, it's interesting because we have something that tells you about like the original languages, and then like it's called I can't say the word exegetical, and then the expository, which provides like more traditional commentary, like ideas, and explains the things more. Yeah, and I forgot to set a timer. I'm just gonna go until I'm done. Not the whole book, until I feel like I can't continue anymore. Okay. Seems to be more again about the war that's coming or currently existing, or was in the past here. Uses the expressions waters of, this is pulpit commentary. Isaiah uses the expression waters of Shiloah in a general sense for the streams, springs, reservoirs, conduits which supply the temple and were connected with its service. Refusing the waters of Shiloah would then be, without any violent metaphor, refusing the temple service and worship, which was exactly what the Israelites had done from the time of Jeroboam. Okay. So, I need to add more to this. So 8, 6, the Shiloah. What's that? They're waters that came from under the temple. Like that's where their source was. So refusing. Oh no, this pen is. Gel pens, I like writing with them, but sometimes when they don't work, it's frustrating. Refusing the water is a metaphor. No, I'm not able to use that pen right now. Let's use this one with a nice reminder on it to be kind. It's not a gel pen. Refusing water is a metaphor for refusing temple worship. Oh gosh. Okay, this was a bad idea because it just smeared all over my hand. I'll worry about that after. You gotta push through and do these things, even like when everything seems to be not going right. Just do it. I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm doing it because I know it is good for me and calms me down. but sometimes it's hard to remain calm when you had a bad day. Okay. Israelites had been doing this. I don't know who Jeroboam is, so I was great for some time. And melt in fear over resin. See, in here they use rejoice with resin. So why would rejoice be replaced with fear? That is... that is very odd. Come across this before too, where other translations seem to coincide with not. Okay. Now who's resin? I'm just gonna do a search. Okay, so they're basically distrusting God and pitting faith in a man. Huh. I wonder who resin could be. Anyhow. Okay. So look, the Lord is bringing up against them the turbulent and mighty waters of the Euphrates River. The king of Assyria in all his majestic power. It will reach flood stage and overflow its banks. It will spill into Judah, flooding and engulfing as it reaches to the necks of its victims. He will spread his wings out over your entire land, O Emmanuel. I like that song, though. Okay, now I got it stuck in my head. You will be broken, O nations, you will be shattered. Pay attention, all you distant lands of the earth. So it's not just get ready for battle and you'll be shattered. Get ready for battle and you'll be shattered. Devise your strategy, but it will be thwarted. Issue orders, but they will not be executed, for God is with us. Told me not to act like these people. Do not say conspiracy every time these people say the word. It's probably the word conspiracy. Let's check it. What word? Is it a specific word? 8:12. Yeah, it's just phrased differently. Okay. I'm going to read more about this origin of this word. An external coalition threatening the integrity of the Commonwealth. Okay. Don't be afraid of what scares them. Don't be terrified. You must recognize the authority of the Lord of Heaven's armies. He is the one you must respect. He is the one you must fear. He will become a sanctuary, but a stone that makes a person trip, and a rock that makes one stumble, to the two houses of Israel. This idea of like getting to the sanctuary is not very easy. So there's lots of challenges, and we're human after all. We're gonna, make mistakes, and not be perfect. Type the scroll's legal evidence, seal the official record of God's instructions, and give it to my followers. I will wait patiently for the Lord who has rejected the family of Jacob. I will wait for him. Seek oracles at the pits used to conjure up underworld spirits. From the magicians who chirp and mutter incantations, should people not seek oracles from their gods by asking the dead about the destiny of the living? Then you must recall the Lord's instructions, the prophetic testimony of what would happen. Certainly they say such things because their minds are spiritually darkened. They'll pass through the land destitute and starving. Their hunger will make them angry, and they will curse their king. Is that one of the first instances of hangry? They will become hangry, and they will curse their king and their God as they look upward. I'm not marking that because of the word hangry. They're hungering for something, and they're not feeding, I'll use the word soul. Curse their king, their gods, as they look upward. When one looks out over the land, he sees distress and darkness, gloom and anxiety, darkness and people forced from the land. The gloom will be dispelled for those who are anxious. So I guess this is like not falling for other religions that were prevalent at the time. 8:19. Yeah, a temptation. And apparently whatever translation this person was using, they said wizards. Knowing ones practicing an occult science, peep and mutter. Yeah. And I'm just gonna go to 912 because I wonder what they mean by the word anxious, because I'm pretty sure it is not the way that we understand it. Okay, so there's some wondering over this too in the things. It's saying that the chapters are kind of messed up here, but that this version is so obscure as to be almost unintelligible and requires an entire remodeling. Yeah. Okay. This actually makes sense. This is actually a part where the translation actually makes sense here. So the gloom will be dispelled for those who are anxious. And those who are anxious were Israel. Yeah. So this is like a prophecy. You were anxious and in despair, and now it's gonna go away. I think what I've learned is that sometimes following like the names and places and stuff don't really lead somewhere. I think I'd have to read like a separate book on whatever war they're talking about to kind of understand it. So I'm not going to stop and look up like lands and stuff if it doesn't seem like it's absolutely crucial. So again, it's about stopping oppression. says, the Beatitudes say, blessed are the persecuted, oppressed. It doesn't say, blessed are the persecutors. Yeah, you know that word that I can't say. Okay, so now this, for a child has been born unto us, that's quoted in the, what's it called? The Charlie Brown Christmas special. So, 9:6. So I'm seeing this as, like, a prophecy for Christ, the name of the Messiah. Christ here. Please play Jake. Yeah. Does it mean to them a Messiah that I'm just reading some commentaries. Messiah. Another thing that was mentioned in that book was about the type of Messiah that some people were expecting versus the Messiah that Christians we believe we got. There was I can't remember his name. Begins with an M. So, like a Messiah that was out for vengeance and out to bring, justice through the sword. But instead, the Messiah we got is one who's just like, love your enemies, turn the other cheek, cast the first stone, you who have not sinned, right? And some people still I feel like some people still expect that. I guess you really see that in, like, American culture. And by that I mean, like, North American culture. Not just the US, but Canada too. Of, like, wanting this Jesus to come down and, like, smite your enemies. Like, we see these people, these so-called people who call themselves Christian, who are like signing bombs that are being sent to Israel or being sent to Palestine from Israel. And that's just like, that's not, it's definitely not what Jesus would want. It's ridiculous. Like, they still want this Messiah of the sword when we have a Messiah of the cross. Still this idea of like armies. So, God's judgment was just on Jacob, but it also went through the whole people of Israel. So this is 9:8. Message by me. Some of these, like, I feel like I need to like take a special course to understand some of these commentaries. And I'm not pretending to be an expert. I'm just showing you like the way I'm approaching it, and using like my way of doing it and trying to understand it. The way I want to understand it is, you know, at a very academic type level, but I'm just not, I don't have the opportunity to do that at this moment. So I'm trying my best to understand these things, but some of this is going right over my head. So I do understand at this point that Israel was in two kingdoms. So there was Israel and Judah, and they're saying that this is referring to that, but I'm missing something. So I'm just. I'm gonna have to just make myself a note to look further into this off camera, because it won't be interesting me just not doing anything besides reading up on this war to understand it. I think that's where a lot of my hemming and hawing is coming from. Now, are bricks better than stones, or stones better than bricks? Arrogant attitude. So I guess they're saying that they'll rebuild better, is my understanding, but they're being arrogant to think that they can do that. Okay. With more materials. So yeah, bricks and sycamore fig trees are actually materials that were used by the poor. So of course, you know, those houses have fallen. It's interesting here, it makes a comment that the sycamore is still cheapest and commonest building material in Palestine. Clarify this as in get rid of the poor. It's interesting, we see that happening with current situation that's been going on for a while, not just the current situation in Israel and Palestine, where like the Israelis are like literally taking over the homes of the Palestinians, like replacing the poor with the rich there. Despite all this, his anger does not subside, and his hand is ready to strike again. As they weren't going to listen to him the first time. So the Lord cut off Israel's head and tail, both the shoots and stalk, in one day. The leaders and the highly respected people are the head. The prophets who teach lies are the tail. Well, I guess I like that he clarifies. These people that are supposedly highly respected. They were misleading people. Lying. Not leading, because misleading, leading. The people being led were destroyed. It meant to be a circle. The whole nation was godless and did wicked things. Every mouth was speaking disgraceful words. Despite all this, his anger does not subside. Again, we get a repetition there of this one right here. Oh, no, right here. Okay. People burned like a fire. fire consumes everything and it leaves nothing behind. It consumed thorns and briars, it burned up the thickets of the forest, and they went up in smoke. Because of the anger of the Lord's heaven's armies, the land was scorched, and the people became fuel for the fire. It's not just the land, but the people as well. Have no compassion on one another. Have this idea of like gluttony and greed that is constantly taken and taken. People even ate the flesh of their own arm. Manasseh fought against Ephraim, and Ephraim against Manasseh. Together they forgot. They fought Judah, and everyone's fighting. Despite all this, his anger does not subside. Beware those who enact unjust policies to keep the poor from getting fair treatment. I just want to like put like stars all around this. I have this here. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going for an hour. I'm gonna still, as long as this doesn't. I don't want to stop. But I know like an hour-long video is a lot, so I'm gonna read up to here. The Lord turns on arrogant Assyria. To whom will you run for help? I like this. I'm not gonna write out the whole poem. I'll know what I mean. But like first they came for. Or ... And I stood by. And finally they come for you. Like who are you gonna turn to for help once you've done this thing to everyone else? Like the no ethical billionaires. Even the Bible says so. Okay, I am gonna stop there. Let me know your thoughts. on Isaiah 8 to 9. We finished two full chapters. And that's it. Thank you for watching.